Yeah.
So, since the last podcast,
Yes.
it was the draft that we were talking about, right?
Oh,
Montreal.
exactly.
We were talking about Montreal finishing.
Yep.
Well, staying.
Hopefully they were
fifth.
going to get the first.
No,
Ended up with the fifth.
nobody moved on that draft.
Nobody moved, huh? It was.
Yeah.
That was it.
The playoffs. Now they're round 3, and
Mm.
there's one Canadian team left. The Oilers. I called the Oilers to make it to the finals before the playoffs started, but I didn't think they were gonna get past round 2.
You didn't think the Leafs were going to make it?
Actually,
No, what did you think of the Leafs?
No, wait.
Oh,
in
I-
hell did I ever think the Leafs were gonna make it?
I thought the Leafs were gonna win the round 1, but I wasn't surprised that they fucking pulled another stupidity.
I thought the Leafs were going to beat the Bruins. I was
too.
scared, but I saw the lack of performance from some players. When Matthews got hurt and Marner, fighting, and
Marner is a
Nylander
little
coming
baby.
in, and now there's too many babies. There's too many babies on the team, and they cost too much.
Unfortunately, a coach that shouldn't have gotten fired got fired because I think
Hey,
he's
he
a
got
good coach.
hired.
He got hired.
He got hired.
Yeah.
He got rehired.
Marsha, what did he say? He says, we really believed in us and ourselves.
Yeah, he said that.
He really believed in ourselves.
Believed.
He killed me. He killed me. I was like,
Perfect.
what a
We
jerk,
really
man.
believed.
I believe in myself.
Hey,
He
man.
said that
Yeah.
after
We
they
really
won.
believe in ourselves, and that's why we get the job done.
He's such a rat.
What a jerk, man.
Such a rat.
But hey, you know what? He was very impressive in both series, if you ask.
Yeah, I was happy they went through, but then they got killed, man, from Florida.
Yeah.
Florida was did a repeat from last year. They sent a message.
Well,
That-
last year they did well. Do you think they're gonna beat the Rangers? Because I'd like to see Rangers Edmonton, but
they
Florida-
Be such a creep.
they came out strong. I didn't think they were going to come out strong like they did, but I expected Kachuk to play because he has been playing for the 2 first rounds. He's been, and Bobrovsky has been present. He's been standing on his head. He's playing like a playoff goaltender should be, and if there is one job that is so important is goaltending in the playoffs.
Mm.
There's nothing more important, and you should depend on your. Like I'll talk about my Bruins, like Jeremy Swayman. He had an exceptional year.
I love that goaltending tandem from the Bruins. I think it's phenomenal.
Between Allmark and
You don't need
yeah.
a super. They have
Yeah.
2 like
it's a
solid
new-
goaltenders,
it's a
and
new-
they
yeah.
split the tandem throughout the whole year, and one gets hot, one gets cold. They put the other. So you have a 1A and a 1B. You don't have like a superstar goalie, and then you have a back. I love that system they have. The
I
Bruins.
think we're gonna see more and more of that in hockey.
Well, we've been seeing it more, but
We're
the
seeing more
Bruins-
60-40%.
The Bruins, you actually see it more because they have actually 2 solid goaltenders. They're not, and I don't even think they cost them much on the salary cap, huh?
No, it won't. But they won't be able to both stay on.
Eventually,
Yeah.
but the goal was to eventually try to win a cup before
Yeah.
they had to renegotiate a contract, right?
Right.
Maybe Toronto might get a goal in that case.
Yeah, keep trying.
It's ridiculous.
Toronto's problem is they're too top heavy. They don't have any goaltending and they don't have any defense.
Sounds like Edmonton. Edmonton had
But
that problem too.
Edmonton put some defense.
Yeah.
And they added some more depth on their second
been
and third
building.
lines. They
building.
they brought in Perry. They have Kane. And
You
then
need that veteran.
Huh?
That
And they have Draisaitl and that don't usually play with McDavid. You put them
Should've
on
won
2
for
lines, huh?
Could have won for Jake Allen. They needed him for.
great. He's probably the best backup goalie there is in the league right now.
He's a
Best
steady,
second tier.
like,
He's a good. He knows his role.
Yeah.
Stays back there, plays his 30-40% of the season, and he's pretty solid. He's
They got Henrique, right, instead of really focusing on their D and their goaltending, and I think personally Oilers might have screwed up on that.
We'll see. They make it to the finals. I heard a crazy stat that Montreal is still the only Canadian team that has more playoff wins since 2009 than any other Canadian team,
Crazy.
and they haven't
More than
missed
any-
Since 2009?
since 2009.
Had the most playoff wins since 2009?
Small playoff series
of
wins.
any Canadian team.
Yeah.
I
They're
believe it.
even they did a list. I was listening to it on the radio
The
today.
most
They even out of teams, out of all the teams, not just Canadian, they're up there. Except for all the big teams that won, like have 17, 18, 19 playoff wins. But Montreal is there more than all the other Canadian teams. So so there have been teams that have been doing better throughout the seasons than them. Like Toronto's been having good seasons. Edmonton, Calgary.
Well, it just changes gears in the playoffs. They went to get this fluke stuff sometimes. I don't know. Remember against Vegas?
They understand
but
they understand the administration that it takes a certain type of team to get through the playoffs. It's good and nice to win all the games in the beginning during the year, but you come to the playoffs and you lose 4 straight in the first round,
or get hot for 2 weeks, and you're like, oh yeah, cool. Our young studs are scoring hat tricks all of a sudden, but that consistency is not going to stay with a team like that.
And they're building a team now very, very well, Montreal.
I gotta hand this them. They are
I've been reviewing the draft since the draft lottery ended. In Montreal, I have a feeling they're gonna get a really good player because out of the top 5 teams, Anaheim and Columbus, guaranteed they're gonna go for a defenseman because they're already top heavy in forwards. I don't think they need more forwards. So
you're saying they're gonna go for that defenseman pick? And
look at chance they're gonna get Demidov or they're gonna get Lindstrom. Celebrini is going number 1. Then you have Chicago. It's a crapshoot. I'm pretty sure they're gonna go for a forward. Most likely they're gonna go Demidov to have him and Berdard, the 1-2 tandem like they did with Taves and Kane.
Yep.
We'll have that again. I think that's what they're looking at. But I'm pretty sure the next 2 teams are gonna. I don't think Montreal has to trade down. And if they get what they want, I think they're because they have 2 first-round picks. They're gonna trade their second-round pick.
Chips in their hand, don't they?
Plus they're gonna
picks. They're like,
it's amazing.
That's a good problem to have. When was the last time the Montreal Canadiens had this kind of problem in their
Plus
hands?
they're gonna try and pull off another trade like they did with when they picked up Kirby Dach. Trade a first rounder, trade a defenseman, a prospect, and go pick up another freaking bona fide player that can be ready. And you have players for a first line.
You
have players for a second line, and you have enough players that can build a defense. All that's left after is eventually when you get good, you go get yourself a goalie. But a goalie's not important right now because they're good at what they have now. Because you keep building.
Sure.
So and you give time for your core
to build
grow,
and
exactly.
build that chemistry and just.
And by the time, and then you have what's his name, Lane Hudson, who's gonna be an offensive, offensive,
so good,
defensive, whatever. But he's gonna be a power play specialist.
Exciting
right?
to watch.
Yeah, what the heck? Montreal having such great talent. It's so much fun. It's nice to see. We were like stuck in a zombie world, but it was still entertaining, but not this type of.
It's because they finally decided not to patch and.
They were putting band-aids for many, many, many years. Gainy and just
not that we're a big market, but the last run they could have he built the team from the beginning for the playoffs. He barely got into the playoffs, but when he got into that playoffs, he had the team for it. That defense core was what got them through. That defense core and Carey Price is what got them through.
Yeah.
You see a bit of the Worlds.
I have been watching
Slovakia. Hey, Mr.
Slavkovsky, man.
Guys, this guy he's gonna be solid. Hey, man.
Yeah, I'm very impressed. He's evolving faster than I thought.
And everybody was.
What do you think, Bray?
Everybody shat on him, and nobody thought he was going to produce as quickly as he would this young.
Yeah, I'm very happy with his progress.
Yeah, he's evolving quicker than I thought. Plus, he's a big boy, right?
Yeah.
So, his presence on the ice is different than being a 5'7", 5'8" player.
His confidence
where
is
you're
growing.
limited sometimes, He can make himself space, man.
That confidence is growing in it. And, when you have the body and the physique and the hands too, man. He's got some good hands, man.
Yeah.
Doc is coming back next year. Doc is 6'1", 6'2". If they get Lindstrom is he's 6'3", 6'3".
Yeah, he's a pretty big boy. Huh?
He's big too. But Demidov is under 6 feet. He's like 5'9", 5'10". But he's more of a skill player. But if you get that like another big guy, man, you're looking at 2 solid lines.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you don't have to have Caulfield on the first line. If you get have Caulfield on the second line.
Imagine having Caulfield on your second line. Now you're going
predict the draft pick. I wasn't concentrating on this.
I'm thinking they're gonna get Caden Lindstrom. That's my guess. Caden Lindstrom. So I watched. That's a good point, Pat. I watched the Sick podcast with Tony Manero, and sometimes he has these scouts, right? And he goes on a Stanley Cup winning team for Montreal to win. Caulfield is not your top line.
Well, yeah, because it gives you a message that if he's not on your top line, what do you have as a
exactly?
team?
So in order for them, he's got to be your second, your top
second.
Yeah. So which makes sense, and it's not taking away from him or in any way.
He's very talented for sure.
In order to, because look at teams that win the cup, you have multiple.
You don't have your top stars on
waves.
The line. It's always waves of people.
No, I mean you have a lot of depth. Like look at New York. They have Panarin. They have Zabed. What is his name there?
Zibanejad.
You know,
he's amazing.
You know,
a lot of Montreal's always for the longest time. First line was always short guys.
Yeah.
Back in the Gallagher was the first line.
They had the size. Yeah, they had the size issue. Koivu, I mean, they always had those small, but they had a lot of heart.
Yeah, but they always were small.
They were size was against them. But now, like I always say, it's like you need that depth. Because when a coach is out there and he's able to match up your team and you're playing this matchup game and he has his healthier players that are on and he's putting his third line and they got superstars on their third line and you got nothing. Or your guys are tired and you're like, all I can put on is a line that's got nothing. That depth is not going to carry you in the playoffs. And when you see these third, I love watching playoff games where they finish 1-0, 2-0, and the goal scorers come from the fourth line or the third line. Those are those like game twos where you're like, that game two is going to mean a lot in this series if they win. Because that game, they didn't have their Connor McDavid that stepped up. It was like their third liner, their fourth liner, who's been there every game, producing. And then when it's his time,
it gives you wings, man. It gives you wings.
It gives you a win, and you need that depth, and it's so important.
I'm not like what they're doing now with the team, Montreal, like the management. They're doing fantastic, but there's a lot of credit has to also be given to the old management team because the new management team that came in inherited a lot of good drafts and moves that the other management, that Bergevin administration did.
A lot of picks.
I like
Caulfield was done by them. The Suzuki trade was fantastic.
Of course.
Pickup that was. They traded Pacioretty for Tatar, and they included Suzuki as an addition.
That was a win.
And that was the win, not the Tatar. Tatar was a good attitude.
It was a way to get the contract. It was a way to get the signing done for the trade. And,
but look
honestly,
what they got.
look who won now in the long run.
Like the Hudson draft pick was Bergevin as well. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
It was Bergevin administration. Well, absolutely.
Probably,
yeah. Like there's a lot of good stuff that they left them to work with.
Of course.
Yeah.
He just screwed up with all this.
Even all those defensemen that they had, a lot of them was the.
Even Logan Mailloux was a good choice.
Huh?
Even Logan Mailloux was a good choice,
Yeah.
Through all that,
controversial, but it was
controversial, but it was a good choice. You know what? You didn't think the balls to do that.
They risk
because he knows
like they take risks.
Everybody
Some of them were
like shitting on this guy.
They risked.
Remember, he brought was it Radulov? Remember, he brought Radulov.
Yeah.
That was a good move. Too bad we didn't keep him, but
Not that we didn't keep him. He ended up signing with Dallas for the exact same amount. You as a player, if you can make the same amount of money,
tax rebate,
less taxes,
that's what kills Montreal.
The fact,
come on, it's a fact.
It's crazy. It's just
and a better team.
People want to stay in Florida. That's why people want to stay
even
in
location,
Texas.
like Texas and location,
warmer climate,
less media on your back. Like
Toronto and
Montreal are huge cities where when things go good, man, you see the flags on people's cars and people are hot and heavy. But when things go bad,
it's heavy.
It's also heavy. Leafs got booed off the ice.
Really smart.
Like this is what happens in Canada. You can boo your own team off the ice easily because
He came back to the NHL, went to a high market team, Montreal, where we get the most visibility. He got his visibility. He showed that he can still play, and then he goes, now I can get to any team I want. I get the same money. I'll make the same money I'm making in Montreal, but I'm gonna go to somewhere where the climate is nicer, the environment is more suited to money.
Well, put yourself in the spotlight.
It's a business, man. It makes sense.
You're right. Good way of looking at it. Put yourself in the spotlight. You're like, here I am. I did what I had to do. Now, send me somewhere nice where I want to go.
Because he was in the KHL before.
Yep.
He had left from Atlanta.
Exactly.
Went
he
to
left
KHL and
KHL,
came back.
Yeah. What was the other guy from that played in the Thrashers?
Kovalchuk.
Kovalchuk.
Ilya Kovalchuk.
He did the same thing.
He went to KHL, and then
He was
he
at
came
the
back
end
to
of his career, though.
How old was he when he played for the Canadians? Though he was.
Didn't play for anybody after.
He played for the Canadians?
LA. He went to play for LA.
Yeah, he played.
He played for LA.
Canadians. No, he
No,
played.
Canadians.
Yeah, well,
Not the Canadians.
Playoffs and then.
or then after that.
Kovalchuk didn't play for the Canadians.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
He
For
did,
1 year.
for
I
like
remember he
3
was
months.
playing with his kids on a ring. There's a
Yeah.
video of.
That's huge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There's a
like-
video out there of
and
him
he played
playing
pretty
hockey.
well
with
with
Montreal,
us.
man.
Yeah, he did play pretty well.
Kovalchuk, Kovalchuk, Radulov.
I remember he had to
We're very
give
friendly to Russians.
Even that American, the other guy
he
there.
gave a player his watch because the player
Oh yeah,
gave his
yeah.
number.
I forget who that
Gave
was.
Kovalchuk's number.
Who's that
Who
player from
gave him a
used to play for
Rolex.
Buffalo?
Hey, thank
the
you.
the
He ended up playing
defenseman.
for
What's
Montreal a
his
couple
name?
of seasons. Then.
Right?
Defenseman.
Is it a defenseman? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He's our the
Goodness.
seventh backup guy. I forget what his name is. The short guy.
American.
No, he's
Played for Buff.
Who was that player from Buffalo
Yes.
who ended up playing for Montreal for like 2 years?
that's
I don't remember his name right now. He's a European
then he
too.
went to Minnesota after, right?
Yeah.
Vanek.
Vanek, yeah. Thomas
Vanek.
Vanek.
Yeah,
Very
Thomas
Vanek.
Vanek.
I was
Yeah.
That was a good
I
pickup.
That was
I
good.
don't know.
That was good. That was
He
Bergevin.
did nothing
That was
but
actually
show.
very good. Vanek was
He was good in
yeah, he was in
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Well, he had been in Buffalo for 10+ years, I think.
Pretty much his whole career.
Career he was in.
That's another disaster of a team where you can't freaking figure out and put a team together when you have the talent there, man. What a disaster.
Yeah, well, that's why they're so close to each other. Buffalo and Toronto. They're both.
It's
There's-
management. It's management.
Something in the
Management,
water
shit
in the
there
air
is
in
the
that
I
area.
problem.
don't know, man. They're so dumb.
It's so dumb.
What the heck?
So
They really do have a lot of talent. Buffalo.
wasted. It's sad.
They're cursed, man. I don't know what happened, but someone cursed them.
No, they have
It's impossible. All this
Berube,
talent.
right? They have the new coach now for Toronto. We'll see what he
New
does.
coach.
Berube.
Who?
Berube.
Where's he from?
He won the Stanley Cup with St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
Be a player.
Yeah.
And he was a coach.
He's a bit of a tough ass.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's
He
Different type of coach.
I don't know, man. I think you need more than a coach. Fuck. You need a witch doctor. You need an
need some
exorcist.
prayers, yeah, Bible.
I need an old priest, and a young priest.
You need a Jewish rabbi. You need a priest. You need a Hindu.
Let's make those goals a little bigger for them.
Yeah.
It's gonna need a prayer just to get themselves out of this. This is I thought a lot more people were gonna get affected by the management. Like, I thought this was the best year in my lifetime that I can remember Toronto having
Surprised Shanahan didn't.
the best year.
Exactly.
I'm very surprised Shanahan didn't get disciplined for this. Like,
Well,
I
he
thought
said
he
it
was
at his
gonna,
press conference. It's on me. I want to see the next year if they don't do good. If he doesn't get freaking
like
fired.
the coach got fired. I don't think that was the guy. Not the only person. It's why
He
is it the
deserve it,
coach?
no, but yeah, that's what you do.
But someone's got to be a
Your
fall
team-
guy.
If your team can't make the playoff
He's the fall guy.
2-3 times in a row, like not even past the second round, yeah, and something has to be done. Fortunately, usually just the coach.
And now he's in New Jersey. But
He is. He
Yeah.
got quickly.
coach?
He got
Head
signed
coach
head
as
coach.
well?
New
Yeah,
Jersey
head coach.
Devils. He just got signed. Yeah.
You know who's supposed to be the coach for Toronto before they hired like the assistant coach that's there now is what's his name there Boucher there. He used to be for Laval.
The
Rockets.
yeah.
Rockets.
Yeah.
So he used to coach Ottawa, right? So now he's an assistant coach. He was supposed to be the coach, and then what's his name was
Yeah.
Babcock got available, and all of a sudden he didn't get the job. Babcock got hired, and Babcock got fired, and then they hired Keldon Sheet, whatever, Keldon Keefe.
Sheldon Keefe.
But he would have been a good fit for Toronto.
And Queef.
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 Keldon Keefe. Babcock.
Yeah.
But when I look at Babcock, sorry, that's like poster boy of like a coach, hockey coach look like. Always found he looked.
Oh,
Tortorella.
Pat Burns. Scotty Bowman.
Babcock is very old school, but some of the stuff that came out on him, man, I'm like,
Yeah,
wow,
no, apparently
man.
he wasn't. Well, apparently he was a good, when he coached Team Canada.
He's an ass. He was
okay.
an asshole.
I could coach Team Canada.
Yeah, but you're like, guys, you're all superstars. Just go do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Just do what you do 365 days a year. Well, not 365 days a year, but do what you do half the year. Just do it.
It's like anybody can coach
It's the easiest job ever. Easiest job ever.
Really, like just a symbolic.
It's like Justin Bieber coaching the All-Star team this year, right? So you're like, yeah,
Talk about in
It's like
Canada.
Justin Bieber coaching
The year
the All-Star team this year.
starting this